Then, okay, this is a question for me. Sava saying, Ali, what are your thoughts on when the rest of the world agreeing with the US on the genocide committed by the CCP? Again, the genocide, I assume, and I hope that you're talking about like the Uyghur genocide, which is Uyghur Muslims being held in concentration camps, everything from forced sterilization to organ harvesting. There's all kinds of things going on with the Uyghur Muslims in China. It's going, and everybody's kind of turning a blind eye to it. I think the U.S. has recognized it. The Trump administration, they recognized it. I don't know what their intentions were, because at the same time, Trump also kind of said, okay, well, let's forget about that before. But the U.S. is generally recognizing it in a way. I hope more of the world does. Many of them have relationships with China. Like, I know that Imran Khan of Pakistan, the prime minister, who goes around talking about Islamophobia in Western countries, and there's people hate Muslims everywhere. There's a lot of anti-Muslim hate. Complains about it incessantly everywhere. Wants to take down Armin's YouTube videos. Wants to take down my tweets. Like, we get all of these things. The government of Pakistan wants to take down this tweet that you did because they find it Islamophobic. Completely okay with the genocide of Muslims happening by the Chinese government, because he's got to, the Chinese Communist Party, he's got a good relationship with them. There's total hypocrisy when it comes to this. So I don't know when it's going to happen. I think that the CCP has a lot of influence, a lot of economic and trade relations with a lot of different countries who are dependent on it. So I don't think they want to rock that boat, but I'm glad that the hypocrisy is seeing the light of day. Shuvashish Das is saying, Iranians that I met in grad school identify themselves as Persians and not Iranians. Aha. Is it because they do not want to associate themselves with religion, or is it due to the USA-Iran relationship? Is this also why they say Islamic Republic? Why you always refer to it?
No, I mean, okay, so first of all, they're idiots. Because the original name is not Persia. The original name is Iran. And the name Iran is pre-Islamic. The name Persia is what foreigners used for Iran as a name. So if they want to be true to if they want to be like true original name, they would use Iran. Okay, it has nothing to do with Islam. The name Iran has nothing to do with Islam. The name Iran was used before Islam was even a religion. I assume some of them, at least, hashtag not all, are racists who do not like the fact that the name Iran maybe rhymes with Iraq, or people consider the name Iran. Okay, so they're having these are Iranians who are having a very Western-centric perspective, and the way that they see it is that Iran, the name Iran, is associated with recent history. Okay, so actually there's two explanations, right? One is that the Iranians who are anti-Arab racists and do not like the fact that the name Iran rhymes with Iraq, and they just want to make sure that they are not considered an Arabic country. Another one is that a lot of these people have so very little to be proud of in their country that they cling to the past, to the Persian Empire. So their understanding is in the mind of a Westerner, when you hear Iran, you think about modern history and all the problems with Iran. And when you hear Persian, you think about ancient history and the glorious Persian Empire. So they try to use that name to invoke a more romanticized, a more positive feeling about how great Iran used to be, even though even back then, the name Persia wasn't used. It was the Greeks and the Romans that called it Persia. The Iranians themselves, even back then, called it Iran. Does that make sense, Ali?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Fuad is saying, if you could debate any Muslim apologist, who would you debate?
Debate on what topic? Depends on what topic. Daniel Hairaju, yeah, for sure. I mean, you keep saying like as if you, and okay. Oh, Majid Nawaz, there we go. Does that fit the definition of apologist for you?
Yeah, So I just generally I've been having, I don't know how useful the debate thing is. I prefer like just having sort of conversations with people because
Oh my god.
seriously, I just like with more, I'm getting a little tired of watching debates because all I see is each person really, really trying very hard to stick to their point, and I find that it's really interesting for the audience to hear both sides of it. It's great, it's fun, but I think it gets old after a while. I actually do enjoy people from different sides coming in and talking to each other openly. It still ends up being a debate, but it's more sort of there isn't necessarily this expectation that you really, really have to stick to your side no matter what, and make your points no matter what. So I would again say I'd say Raza Aslan would be really interesting.
Okay, Ali, do you think we could do because we're already over an hour? Do you think we could do short answers to the remaining one, like really short answers?
Really short. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Circumcised answers. Fatima Wali is saying, how old were you two when you stopped believing in religion? The other day, my Muslim friend tried to invalidate my atheism by saying I was too young at 13 to know Islam and leave it. Are you 13, Fatima? Oh, okay, I guess. Oh, she was 13 when she left it. Armin, you said you were 18, right?
No, I was 16. I just became fully atheist when I was 18. But I left Islam and religion when I was around 16. But tell your friend that he's full of crap. Tell him that tell them that, well, you still think it's ridiculous, even when you're not 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Matthew is saying, Armin Navabi, what do you think about Western televangelists?
I think they're full of crap. I think they're full of crap. Yeah.
Okay.
I answered very fast. I think.
Gogo Dal. I like that, Gogo Dal. Ali, what are your thoughts on Mehdi Hassan and Al Jazeera? Mehdi Hassan is just absolutely useless when it comes to his religious apologetics, but he's occasionally very, very good. He's actually often very good when it comes to politics. So it's weird. Like, I'm politically aligned with him on a lot of things, but religiously, I just think he's, flying horse.
Okay, here. I had a good question here.
James is saying, what results do you feel could practically expect on both the US and CCP side ever since both US parties declared genocide is occurring? I don't know what that means. I think, what results do you feel we could practically expect on both the US and CCP side ever since both US parties declared genocide is occurring? So yeah, what do we expect from the US and the CCP since both the Democrats and Republicans have declared that what's happening there is a genocide?
Okay, did you answer that? Because I have a good answer for Fatima by somebody else.
Yeah, but I mean, why don't you answer this? Because I don't know.
I don't really understand this question.
He's saying, what do you think is going to happen on both the US and the CCP side?
I actually don't know. I'm hoping that Biden surprises us and he goes aggressively against CCP. I genuinely don't know. I'm waiting for a surprise. I'm hoping that the predictions that he's going to be closer to China than Trump is wrong. I'm pessimistic, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. So far, so good. Let's hope continue. So remember, Fatima?
Yeah.
Well, go on.
No, I was saying that everybody in the US, bipartisan, they agree that China is like a massive threat. And I think they're going to move on that. And that's going to be something that you're going to see escalating in the future, probably more on an economic front, more than anything else, because that is a way that you have fight wars now.
All right, I need to go back to Fatima's question. Fatima, remember she says she's 23, she's not 13 anymore. Remember she asked what do we respond to her friends who said that she was too young, 13, to leave Islam? Maybe she should reconsider it. Jeremy, what? Jeremy actually responded to this better than both of us. Here's Jeremy answered it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If 13 is too young to leave it, birth is too young to join it. That's generally the answer too. Yeah.
Perfect response from Jeremy.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.